Good evening. Hello. KGart82 here. Kevin. Gonna do some more sculpting tonight. Gonna work on Frieren. Hey 6. Good to see you as usual. I guess do a little intro because I never do these. I am a toy sculptor and I have been doing digital modeling for about 20 years. And hey, what's up, Josh? Pew pew pew. And yeah, I decided to start streaming because I want to do more stuff for me and share my knowledge and my work with other folks, and also give people a space to talk about their art too. So that's why I'm here on Twitch. So thanks for coming in. Always good to see you two specifically. Yeah, so how are you all doing tonight? I'm drinking tea this evening. And hopefully you can hear me. My mic was doing weird things earlier. It looks like it's going well, but I don't know for sure until you guys say something back saying, I can hear you. Y'all quiet. What are you doing? What are you doing tonight? I can hear you, Josh says. Good, I'm glad. Let's see. It looks like I'm just going to run some ads now just to get them out of the way for that first bit, because I do the weird thing where they run ads in the first 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. You guys are good. Let's see. All right, see, I'm supporting supporting some files. Ooh, my favorite part. Yeah, I know. Next auto add is reduced by 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, no, adding supports is not the most fun thing in the world, but yeah. Hey, whoa, 10 streams. That's awesome. Thanks for the streak, Mr. Brown. Thanks for the streak. Thanks for the love always. Supporting, subscribing, gifting. You're my dude. So I always appreciate you here. Let's see. How about we get going? And where we left off was about here. I did a little bit of work in addition, or since last stream. I did redo the trim, and I'm still feeling that cough a little bit from a week or so ago. I'm definitely feeling better, but still coughing here and there. But yeah, I did the trim around her skirt and around her capelet. The one around the capelet is a little bit more where it needs to be. The one around her skirt, kind of haven't messed with it yet. That can be a little bit more uniform all around and thicker, it looks like, from the reference that I have right here. You know what's weird? Where is chat? You shouldn't be behind like that. I know I moved you around last time, and it says you're visible. You're not hidden. Oh, wait, but that's right. It only pops up for a certain amount of time if you guys are doing stuff. So that's why I think I can't see you. Can you do me a favor, Josh, and or Six, and type something in again, just so I can see if chat is, for some reason, not showing up? Let me put it all the way to the top. There we go. Test, test. Nice. Yep, okay, it's there. It just goes away a little bit quicker than I thought. All right, and the ad break is over too. Hooray! So yeah, tonight we're going to do a little bit of the costume stuff, or her outfit. Let's see. Check one, check sibilance. Man, I wonder how many people are going to understand that. You know, actually, I like where the outfit is. There's more work to do, obviously, but it's roughed in well. I still have more work to do on this sleeve, but I really want to get to the hair. That's something that I've been super excited about. Since I found this reference, so I think we're just going to jump into that. The fact that you do, I appreciate it. Well, I mean, of course, it's. I mean, we're a little young for Tom Hanks on SNL. That's what it was, right? It was Tom Hanks on SNL doing that mic check skit. But it definitely was in our parents' generation, and it was a big moment in SNL history. All right, so I think to start off, what I want to do, we're going to hide her ponytails. She's going to look kind of funny for a bit. And also I'm going to hide her staff. I have a feeling that is also going to get in the way as we move around her head. see. And what's going to be fun is her eyebrows, they're really simple. And they are a lower subdivision level. They're just a wireframe and on like a smooth preview. So I can use that as kind of like an anchor point and add some of the detail that I want to draw in. An interesting thing about ZBrush is when you want to bring in basic shapes with some of the brushes, there are some brushes where you can like drag in shapes, or you can use the curve tools. You can only do that on an object that is has no subdivision levels. This means it's not divided by multiples, but you could have it in preview mode and still drag things in. So I'm going to start by adding some a strand here using the curved tubes brush because we got an extra strand going. I'm also going to go into the stroke menu, and there is this cool fall off that you can do where you can control the taper of something. So I can just start here and I can draw this in. Actually, I'm also going to do one other thing. I'm going to see if I have this set right, because the curve function, sometimes it follows along the surface of the object and sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Okay, that's better. Now it's following along her, like her head. Okay, I'm also gonna, just to keep with color for myself, here we go. Goes a little bit into her eye, and also this particular bangs, these come down further in the reference. So now that I've got this, I'm going to move this kind of around to make it look more like it's coming out of the hair. From between the bangs. I'm also going to start messing with these bangs, how they droop down, because they come down further in the reference. And it's going to look weird at first because it's going to look like she has way too much bangs, way too many bangs, long. But once we get these special kind of like side bangs moving with the wind, then that's going to look a lot better. I'm also going to hide these strands because we're just going to work with the main bangs first, and then we're going to build curves off of that. And this will probably be a separate piece in the end that plugs in, possibly. I'm not sure, at least part of it. I'm also going to turn off symmetry because this is where asymmetry comes in and things start to get really fun. You can play. But Josh is doing supports. Hopefully you guys have had a good Saturday so far. I was just hanging out at the house, trying to do a little bit of stuff, but man, I've been really tired. So I wasn't as productive as I would have liked to be, that's for sure. But that's okay. Sometimes we don't have to be as productive as we like, and we just accept it. What about you, Six? Are you still sick? Are you lurking in the background today? You said hey, but you got real quiet after that. So I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're hanging in there. Let's see, Saturday is just gone as soon as you wake up. Yeah, I guess, man. Kind of felt like that. I definitely slept in today. It was a lazy day for me. I don't take too many lazy days, which is probably a good thing to take one every once in a while. Now, I'm debating. I might duplicate this right here. But I don't know if I can because I have, no, I can't. Well, I can, but I have to duplicate it in a different way. So I'm going to duplicate these bangs. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. And let's see, do I want to... Yeah, if I hide that, it won't let me split it the way I want. So I am going to... Nope, keep doing that. I can split groups. I'm going to get rid of that one. Oh, maybe I should have kept that. It's okay. But now I have kind of two pieces to work with here. Because there's some kind of thicker bits that are in play. And then I will also make some individual strands, but I want to have some larger chunks kind of playing off of each other, at least for this left side of her head. Also, these get a little long, so make these a little bit longer than what I currently have, because it looks like it's coming down kind of mid-cheek. Kind of lands between her ear and her earring. This other bit yeah, there we go. Also bring this forward a little bit too. Just kind of with when you're dealing with the shapes, you're just kind of massaging everything into place. Until they start to play well together. All right, so now I'm going to use, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this strand from these eyebrows, and that's going to be my kind of like base for all my strands that I'm going to kind of have flying off. So that way we can keep those together and I know where they're at. So I will split masked points because that's what the eyebrows are. And now I can go back to my curved tubes brush. I'm actually going to make my cursor actually affects the size of the curve as I draw it on, or I can even change the size of it and tap and it'll affect it after the fact. So I gotta find a good kind of curve size or strand size for these. I think that's kind of where I want to land. 56.467. Okay. And then I tap back on this and that gets rid of the curve. And then I can use the move brush again to kind of start to massage these bits into place. Ooh. Might be hearing some fireworks outside or something. Okay. Yeah, that's getting there. And then with this, it's kind of the same curve as the one that's going to be coming off the back. So I'm just going to use my gizmo and duplicate this and just drag and then just reposition it. Let's see. I got tired of the orange resin. I got, let's see, got what I could out of it and tossed a little bit. Swap films and back to regular stuff for a bit. Sorry that didn't work out for you, dude. That's, you know, that's, I haven't messed with a bunch of different resins. I've only been messing with the Elegoo Space Gray because, you know, not printing a lot. So I don't need to do a lot of different things, but you definitely print a lot more and you have a lot, you know, more going on with your printing. So I would imagine that's kind of disappointing as you're trying new stuff to have to deal with resin not working out or going as planned. So I'm sorry to hear that, man. But I hope you do find something that is a little bit more to your liking and to that color. Eventually that works better. Now what I'll probably end up doing eventually is Dynamesh or merge all this stuff to make these one shapes and then remesh these hair chunks so that way, one, they blend together a little bit better, and two, well, basically that's it. Mainly I want them to blend together better in the end with the look, especially since they're probably going to be separate pieces when it comes down to it from the rest of the head. But yeah, let's see. It was very fiddly, but I got about 20 sets of swords and shield that hopefully people are into. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have another color. Hey, what's up? Oh, thank you, Six. I appreciate that, man. You know, it's well, back to Josh for a second. Let's see. Yeah, just trying to make some fun colorways for cons. Yeah, I mean, that's really exciting. I'm sure customizers and people that are like coming through and grabbing your stuff are really enjoying the different colors, because a good base color can do wonders for customizers. It gives a chance to play a little bit more, um, have a different foundation, you know. Um, Miss Carrie, I'm glad to see you here as always. Always so supportive. And Six, like you're saying, I really appreciate the compliment. I've been having fun. I really like this character so much. I know I'm not alone, and I'm really looking forward to getting to the point where I can actually print her out and have her on a shelf or something. Or so other people can have her on a shelf or something, because I'm definitely uh, going to make this available to people. Let's see. Yes, that's coming out okay to start. Might shrink this down. It seems like her bangs aren't as thick in this art as they were in the reference that I had, because you can see more of her hair here. Or maybe I just need to add more volume, because she is flying up, so definitely would have more volume kind of like coming through here. So I need to kind of puff this up out as well. Hey, what's up, Doom? Let's see. Wow, I've missed so much. Looking good. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, so it's nice that you're swinging through. I really appreciate it. Yeah, really glad to have all of you here. It's been a nice journey to start this whole streaming thing, and uh, it's been really cool to get to the whole affiliate thing so soon, and that is all thanks to all of you that have come through and have followed and have been supporting, um, either through views or subs. So thank you all so much. It's been a blast. I'm really having a good time doing this. I'm gonna take another sip of my tea, because if y'all have been patient with time off that I've taken and occasional changes of schedule, I might next month start testing out some stuff schedule wise. I think I might do maybe one day in the month where I do the stream on a Monday night to free up a Saturday, because this does really affect all of our Saturdays if I do this every Saturday, and I don't want to constantly like bounce back Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday. And I also want to try out during the week and see how that works for people, both for me and for you guys. So I might do at least one Monday a month instead of a Saturday, probably at the beginning of the month, maybe at the end of the month. We'll see. I haven't really decided yet, but that is an idea I'm kicking around, just to free up a Saturday for me and for all of you supportive people, and also for my family, who is very supportive and has allowed me to do this fun thing that I appreciate them so much. So yeah, just heads up for all of you that happen to be in here tonight and are regulars. There might be some schedule changes, but hopefully it'll be something nice for all of you guys. Let's see. I'll have to send you my viewing schedule. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. That will make it way easier for me so I can plan around your viewing abilities. Of all the people, that's probably one that I need to consider the most. Let's see. My weekends are kind of full. I'll see where I can fit you in. Or your weekdays are kind of full. Yeah. We'll see. I totally understand if you can't do it, you know. But yeah, I do like doing it on the weekend. One, because then I don't have the stress of work stuff to compete with. But I at least want like an occasional Saturday. So this is all still new. Been doing this for just about 2 months, or over 2 months now, I think, because I think I started at the beginning of November. Obviously went through all of December, but don't count that because there was a lot of time off there because of the holidays and stuff. But we're at the end of January, so technically 3 months of streaming. Woohoo! It's been a good time, and yeah, I appreciate all of the support. I don't know if I can, how many times I can say that, but I think you guys get it. So yeah, so tonight we're just working on some hair with Frieren, having a good time. Yeah, since you were not around, Doom, here I'll bring back all the stuff just temporarily. Let's see, we got her staff, and then we got her big hair. So there's still more to do with the big hair. It's in the shape I want, but there's lots of subtle strands going through. There's some fun breaks. There's some plain changes that I don't really have here yet. And there's still some tweaks pose-wise where I can push some stuff, but I'm very happy with where she is so far. But let's get rid of these again, her stuff. I think we're almost done with roughing in. I keep saying roughing in, but we're almost done with the bangs on the right side, or the left side, sorry. My right, Frieren's left. So now we're going to start working on the bangs on the other side. Let's see, Josh, what do you say? Let's see. I kid, I'm pretty good at multiple streams. But yes, you should have your weekends too. It's late here, so everyone has already wound down, but you are in prime time doing stuff. Yeah, yep. Starting at 7 o'clock for me. It is right at an opportunity where I could be out doing stuff either by myself or with the family. There's all kinds of fun opportunities, things that I could be doing. That I'd like to do. We do theme park stuff, and sometimes we've done theme park days where we usually get tired enough where I can get back before stream, but it still is a bit of a rush to have to worry about going to a theme park and then trying to get home in time. But still, I really enjoy doing this, and the family supports it. My kid wants to get into YouTube, so I might start doing more stuff there. I put all of my VODs, I'm very behind, but all of my streams I've been uploading to YouTube as well. Same account name, KGart82. So if you do miss a stream, and if the VOD is gone here, you could always go check that out on YouTube. as well. I need to catch up. I also need to make sure that I'm not like forgetting to download some of my more recent streams. I think I've got them all, but also my hard drive can only take so much, so I delete them as I upload them to YouTube. But yeah, just trying to get myself out there. It's been tough, I'm sure, as many of you know, with all the stuff going on and how Instagram has been. I know people have been getting their stuff suppressed. It's hard not to comment on the state of the world, and there's some people that don't want you doing that. So some stuff isn't quite getting out there, and it's also affecting the stuff that isn't political. Or I shouldn't even say political, because a lot of this stuff isn't politics, it's just the state of the world, and we like to say it bleeds into politics, but it really isn't so much politics as trying to manage the craziness of life right now. All right, so let's see, that is, we'll bring this over more, because it comes kind of close to her eye, and this comes to the cheek. Curve there. Bring some of it forward, some of it back. But yeah, we live in a crazy world. We're trying to deal with all the crazy stuff, and at the same time, we gotta keep chugging along and do stuff like go to work and stream and try to do fun stuff with our family and find some joy. So yeah, it is a crazy time to be doing anything. So I hope not even just with all the stuff that's been going out in the streets, but it's really cold. There's lots of crazy storms going through. So all of you I know that are on the East Coast or North Central areas. I know we got folks in Illinois. There's folks I know in Minnesota, Michigan, Florida is even getting really chilly. So just try to find I think you are saying mental break every once in a while, but a metal break every once in a while might be what you mean, also might be good as well. You know, feel the metal. Put on some Tenacious D. That's about as metal as I get. Although there is some Finnish metal that I like. There's a band called Nightwish that a guy that I used to work with really liked. And I was like, well, I'm Finnish, so I'll listen to them. They're pretty good. Awesome female lead singer. And they're still doing stuff. All right, so that's the main bangs. Let's see if I can do what I did last time. I shouldn't have deleted that extra set of bangs, but we'll do this right here where we're doing our groups. And this time we'll keep that one. We'll delete hidden. Oh, wait, no, sorry, we got to split. Split groups. Group split. That's what I meant to do. And we'll delete this one. All right, let's see. Oh, metal break is good too. Yep. Feel the metal. Disco tried to destroy the metal, but it failed. And it was smited down. Let's see. What's some other things going on? Oh, sad anime news. Crunchyroll, like usual, is behind on their schedule of stuff. So they should be getting the dubs of Frieren out, but they're not. Let's see. You know, it's funny, I was thinking about the old Tenacious D show the other day. Well, that is a good thing to think about because that was a fun show. Also, some fun news. I saw this the other day, and I don't know too many details. I'm not sure if there are going to be many details yet, but they have, for a lack of better term, reconciled. I think they were having some creative differences, Kyle and Jables. So they have rectified those differences and they are planning to do something together again. So rejoice, Tenacious D fans, for the metal will return. It would be cool to get to see them in concert. I've not done that. Got to see Weird Al recently, which was awesome. I've seen him a lot of times in concert. Al is one of my favorite artists. So good at parody. Just a great musician and performer in general. So I have tried to see him many times. I recommend it if you get a chance. I'm not sure if his tour is over or not. I don't remember if I was catching the tail end or if that was more to the beginning. But one thing I will say about Al is that this last show that I saw him in was the first time I saw his age showing a bit. Because he's not a spring chicken. He's an older gentleman. And he's still high kicking and making his body rubber. It's freaking crazy. But he definitely, there was a moment where I was watching, I was like, wow, yeah, you're looking and feeling your age right now, Mr. Yankovic. Which immediately made me feel incredibly old. But that's okay. There we go. Getting there. Again, I'm trying to get close to this reference. I'm not like super worried about getting exact. I have to do that all the time for my job. I just want to get the essence. I want it to look good. I want to push it. Maybe I'll improve some stuff. Not that I'm necessarily improving, but since I only got one angle, you know, I'll probably change some stuff to make sure it looks good from all angles, which might pull me away from the reference a little bit. Sometimes that even happens in my line of work as well, because when you're translating from 2D to 3D, sometimes things don't translate as well as you'd like. but for the most part, we're trying to get it right where we need it to be. Let's see. No, I don't. There we go. All right. How are you doing, Doom? I haven't talked to you in a while. You've been, like you said, you've not been in stream lately, so catch me up. What have you been up to? Doing anything interesting? There, pinch. I'm using the pinch brush at the very end of these strands to kind of get a good taper. I'll probably end up inflating just a little bit in the end because I want to make sure this stuff's producible. But at least for now, it definitely looks nicer. There we go. All right, yeah, I'm liking the way that's looking so far. Still excited to see the second season. I'm seeing all of the ratings of this new season, and it just looks so good. It's rated, I think, even higher than the first season, which is hard to believe. And it's also interesting too because the seasons are so different in the fact of just the volume of the seasons, where the first season was like 20 something episodes, and this new season is, I believe, like 10. And it's not going to be any longer than that. And this could be the last season because there's health issues with the creators of the original manga, I believe. So Frieren is indefinitely on hiatus, which is sad, but it's awesome that we are getting what we got. That's what, excites me and makes me feel good. All right, so we got her bangs all flowing in the wind. There's some touching up that I'll probably do in the end for a good profile, but definitely looking good from the front. Autosave. Always at the right time. So I can take a drink break. Let's see. Some of this back. Just to get some more volume to help cover the side of her face too. Because it's kind of really bare there. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, cool. Much better. All right, so we got her bangs flowing a little bit more. Hair kind of wisping around her face. Now, let's see what we can do with these crazy ponytails that she's got. I'm also going to do a manual save. Haven't done that in a bit. Haven't done it at all tonight. see. All right, I did try to mess a little bit with these last time when I was doing the initial shaping. I was trying to read what's going on in the art that I'm using for reference. And it looks like this left ponytail, the hair's curving back a little bit. And the one on the right, her right, is the whole thing's curving back more. And this is more curving forward. And in. All right, I did see you commented Doom, so let me get to that. Let's see. Absolutely nothing, just working. I feel like I've missed a lot of community stuff. How's this year been treating y'all? Man, that's a good question. I definitely have felt disconnected from like the figure community stuff. I've been seeing people's posts and liking and sharing as much as I can. I'm still not the greatest in the social media game. I have to get better. I have ideas of how I plan to get better, because I have some personal goals as far as social media goes, and how I manage it and handle it. But yeah, I've not really gotten there yet because I'm doing all kinds of other stuff. This is not the only thing I do on Twitch. I also have started helping out some other streamers, and learning the world of Discord and getting involved in like those kind of communities. So, and it's been really fun and I've really enjoyed it, but it's a lot, and I'm trying to absorb things and learn from these people as well as develop relationships, and build within these new communities for me. So yeah, it's been very interesting in that front. And I've felt a little disconnected from all the figure folk at the same time. But yeah, it's I understand feeling disconnected and feeling like you've missed out a little bit. Good news on that front, I have, I've been still keeping in contact with Wade, and there, we have still odious stuff to do to get ready for the factory. So I'm busy with that as well. I've been trying to do a little bit here and there. I'm going to finish up the second werewolf head mostly tomorrow, probably a little bit into next week. You probably didn't see where I was at last, Doom, so this is where it's at. Still some work. We're going to make a hinge for the jaw, so some of this stuff is going to change shape so that way it lines up well. But I need to detach it, and I've done kind of like the second pass of fur. Now I need to do the final pass to get more finer details. Let me put this in gray. There we go. So it's looking good. It's close. You can see I've already started kind of doing some of that pass down here on the lower jaw. Got to do more of it up top. Also want to do like fun texture on the tongue. That's going to be a separate piece. You do the engineering for the jaw. So that's going to be mostly what I'm doing tomorrow. separating those pieces and finalizing some of that stuff. But tonight, we work on our favorite elven mage. Which, yeah, I'm very pleased with how she's been coming out. She's been a lot of fun to work on. It's been fun to, like, I don't usually do a lot of color stuff, so to kind of color her as I go has also been very fun for me, because she kind of comes to life a little bit more. Because usually what I'm used to working on is just like a grayscale model like this all the time. And she looks good like this too. But I do gotta say, adding the color and working on her in this state is also a lot of fun. Because also it gives me an idea of what she will kind of look like once painted, so I can see some of that stuff and consider those things. Because I do, you know, once I have her printed and such, I obviously will want her painted as well. I'm not a painter. I could probably take a crack at painting, but I'll probably see if I can get someone to do that bit for me. But we'll see. Let's see. It's good to know. Yes, it is good to know painters, and I know some awesome painters, and I need to talk to them and see how much it would cost and see if I can afford it. Because I know all the painters I know are super talented, and their work is valuable. And I don't make enough at this point to drop necessarily what their work is worth. So there might be some bartering back and forth, because that happens too. But I definitely don't know if I want to spend the money on Frieren or wait on another project in the future that I want to spend the money on, because I don't think I'll be able to like drop a ton of money on paints each project. But I have a few projects that I'm like kicking around that I want to do, and I've also got to decide, you know, like maybe there's one that is worth getting painted by someone else, and maybe there's some that it's worth me learning a little bit. All right, that looks okay. A little bit of that scoop in there. All right, now we're gonna do strands again too. Now this is gonna be thicker. Let's see. Full-size statue could be expensive, I imagine, especially for an industry pro. Exactly, yeah. And yeah, all the people I know are at this point industry professionals, just like myself. I'm not cheap. You know, I help out folks when I can because I know it's expensive, but yeah, it's the same. So I totally get why the prices are what they are because of the pricing that I set for myself. And you know, I don't make much off of this, so it's not like it could pay for itself. Eventually it probably could, and that would be awesome. Also, I've mentioned before, like, I do eventually want to open a Patreon. I already have it kind of set up, but I haven't opened it yet because I don't have anything to push out. But a Patreon where it's not, you're not buying anything in particular. You are supporting me and my personal work here, but you have access to 3D files that I've worked on stream, or maybe even other stuff that I might throw in. So, yeah, there's that. So, once I can get that going, when and if, then that's another thing that could be possibly a revenue stream that could help with stuff like that. And tiers that I've talked about in the past is one where it's access to files, another one where it is access to supported files, a little bit extra money. So if you have, a particular printer that works with the files that I've done, then you can have access to that. And then possibly a higher tier that'll be more money, where I would actually print it for you and ship it out. So yeah, there's things that I have ideas and plans for, and hopefully we get there. But it's going to take time to kind of like see how it all goes. All right, I want to go back to the strands and do some clay tubes again. Or curved tubes, sorry, clay tubes is something different. So clay tubes is a sculpting brush, and curved tubes, I actually can draw curves. Let's see, merchant tier, where people can sell prints. I don't know. It would be, I think that would be a little bit different. And I know what you're kind of getting at, Josh, and I would probably rather talk to you directly about interesting stuff like that rather than have a tier on the Patreon. Only because, especially with this kind of stuff, like, I'm not selling any particular characters. That is not what I would be doing. What I am doing is giving people the opportunity to support my work and having access to some extras in that regard. See. Exactly, yeah. So I have to be very careful with that stuff, as everybody does. So I will never be likely selling anything in specific, but I will have access. What I want to do, like I said, is allow access to things that I have worked on stream. Because I just think that will be fun for folks. And it'll be fun for me too. And again, I don't expect like a huge influx or rush of people, so I think that'll also help keep it like easy to manage. And less to worry about some of those issues. But I do think it would be fun to have, this stuff accessible to folks that have like been watching, or people that just happen to like my work, so they can have, one-offs. I'm not going to be mass producing anything. I'm not going to be selling anything as specific stuff. It's more going to be, hey, I've made fan art. If you like the fan art, then hey, here's a way you can enjoy it. Much like, there's people that are selling IP stuff at conventions all the time. And mainly, I would say it's probably because it doesn't really infringe or get in the way of sales. For these other companies, But I don't want to also burn bridges or be inconsiderate of these intellectual properties. I want to just create some fun stuff and have maybe some nice access to people that also will enjoy it. Let's see. Technically, I think they could come after you for that, but they just don't. Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of technical stuff, and it also depends on the company, really, because some of them are more into doing that than others. But you just got to be careful, and you got to be considerate, that's kind of what I am planning on doing. It's just being very careful and considerate, and not like marketing myself as, hey, I'm this person that does this stuff and has made these things. Like, I don't even think on my Patreon I would have any images of any of the stuff that I have worked on that anybody would go for. It would be kind of like, it's just a grab bag. If you are aware of the things I've worked on, cool, you get some files to 3D print. And I think that's part of it too. Like, I'm not going to be selling like any actual physical stuff. And technically, I'm not going to be selling anything. It's really, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you'd like to support my art, do that. And since you're doing that, here's a nice bonus for doing that. I appreciate you. So that's kind of the way I'm planning on managing that. And we'll see how it goes. If it goes. Again, this is all ideas, things that I want to do, but I'm not sure if I'll get to that. Because also, one of my main focuses is I do want to have my own Discord eventually and kind of foster an art community. And artists, like, in every sense, any part of the pipeline, creatives, people that are wanting to be more in the production part and, like doing the printing and stuff like that. Like, there's an art form to that. ad break incoming for those of you that are not subscribed. Thank you to those who are subscribed. I appreciate you hanging out. There we go. That's looking good. I think I'm going to thin these out just a little bit more. Let's see, do -10. Let's see, what does that do? There we go. That's looking better. Got to do some more strands and then sculpt into the hair. But right now I think we're doing, mostly tonight, we're just getting all these extra strands kind of in place. And then probably we'll do one more stream where we'll do like a detail pass, and then we'll start working on the base. But we're cooking pretty good. Let's see, ads are starting soon, so if you guys are not subscribed, please stick around through the ads. I really appreciate that. It helps me out. It helps bring in a little bit to the stream for those that watch the ads, so I greatly appreciate all of you that do watch the ads. And then if you are subscribed, let's just chill and hang out, and I'm going to keep on working. All right, there's a few more strands. There's going to be one that's kind of like right here. And then there's one, it's going to be coming off like there. Nice. All right. Also, I'm going to kind of mess with this a little bit, this shape, at this angle. Nice. Okay. But yeah, I'm very much having fun with this project for sure. Other projects that I'm thinking of doing in the future, there's a tank girl statue I have an idea for. I still have to finish off Rebecca from Cyberpunk. See what else. Also, I'd want to do a Zoe from K-pop Demon Hunters. She is my favorite character. Speaking of, I am going to be getting my first Hot Toys figure. I finally have pulled the trigger on that because I am a big K-pop Demon Hunters fan, and Zoe is my favorite character from the films for a number of reasons. But her amazing personality and neurodivergence is a big part of that. So the Hot Toys figure is definitely something that I was like, I want a nice high-end figure of her. I'm not, let's see, you're only getting one. You gotta get all three. No, I do not. Because that is a lot of money. Who knows? Maybe in the future I will get the gumption and complete the crew. Welcome back. For those of you that were in the ad break, we're talking about K-pop Demon Hunters because I pre-ordered a figure of Zoe, and I'm very excited because it's my first Hot Toys figure. Could be the last. And also, Zoe's just an awesome character. My favorite from that film. So I'm very excited just for that alone to have a really cool representation of her in action figure form that I can have around. I'm very excited. See, Hot Toys is a dangerous game. I know. I have seen people drop much on them. See, I have Jinx from Arcane on the way soon. Yeah, that would be probably the only other like Hot Toys figure that I would like go like, oh yeah, that would be one I would want on the shelf right next to Zoe. Um, I don't need the other three or the other two members of Hundrix. Would I be happy if I had them? Sure, but I don't need them. I need Zoe because she is a fantastic character. I relate to her. Her design is cool. I really love both her voice actress and her the VO artist who did the singing voice. They're just really cool people. So there's just everything about that character in the film and her representation and stuff like that is just fantastic. So that's why I finally pulled the trigger on her in particular. Let's see. I have too many and they aren't even on display right now, which, yes, it is stupid. Let's see. You're in the Hot Toys game? Yep, he sure is, apparently. I would say I am not. I just have the one pre-ordered, and it's going to stay that way. If for some reason I become independently wealthy and it's not an issue, why, I will do my best to give back to my community, and then I will buy more Hot Toys. I will at least get the rest of Huntrix. Will that make you happy, Josh? That I say that at least? If for some reason I have the disposable income, I will at least finish that. Let's see. I have mostly gotten out. But still have them all. Yeah, see, that makes sense. Like, I could see deciding to stop, but still having them. That's kind of the same with me and Masterpiece Transformers figures, because I was doing that like early on, and then I wasn't liking some of the early ones, so I just stopped, and they got better, but at that point I was kind of done, and I still have some of them, but I have gotten rid of a few. I did get into the Masterpiece movie line for a bit, and there's still 2 of those that I would like to get. I have Ratchet, Bumblebee, and Ironhide. And I also have Barricade, which is the only Decepticon Masterpiece that I have and I will get. I would like Jazz. I don't think I need Optimus Prime, because my leader Optimus Prime is quite similar to the Masterpiece Optimus Prime, and I think actually is, in general, a better figure, even though it's not like highly engineered and die cast and all the stuff that makes those Masterpiece figures really cool. But yeah. Let's see. I don't have any, but if I were to get one, I would want the War of the Bounty Hunters Boba Fett in the all black armor. That is, I've seen that one, and that is a worthy one. I could understand wanting that one, and I can also understand going, that's my one and done. Like I said, like for me, it's Zoe. I've seen the Mattel figures that they have coming out. Don't really, those weren't doing it for me. I was hoping that Hasbro would do something cool, because I know they have the license too for K-pop Demon Hunters. Have not seen any figures that they are going to do yet. And if they did, you know, like kind of like Legends line, I'd probably get all those. But I do want just a really nice figure of my fave character. So Hot Toys finally kind of grabbed me in that regard. But like I said, that is it. I am not going to get all of Huntrix unless for some reason I get more money. Oh, Josh has the one. See, and Josh, so you're getting out. Maybe you can, you know, get a good offer from Doom and he can have that. You know, that's the one that he wants. You probably don't want it anymore, right? Shh. My kiddo's talking to the dog. I can hear her pitter-patter around his feet as they were walking by the door. All right, I will say we're also making a good time tonight. I've been really enjoying how this has been coming along, and I always love working on hair. Especially like kind of cartoony hair, because I still get to have the fun of kind of sculpting in some of the cool detail and strand work, but it's way less. It's not nearly as much, which means it's not as time consuming, which I like. You know, I don't mind it being somewhat time consuming. Like I'm liking working on the werewolves. That stuff that's very time consuming to get all the fur texture in nice, and I can probably do it in a much simpler way, but I don't want to. I want it to look nice for you guys and for me. So I spend the extra time to get a little bit more of the detail work in. But when it comes to like cartoony stuff like this, I really enjoy, you know, getting the gesture in there and it not being as consuming time-wise. Let's see. Even if Josh were selling, I couldn't buy one comfortably. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. For me, what worked for me, because I saw the prices of them and I was like, ugh, no, I can't do it. But then I saw when they're releasing, and I was like, okay, I know it's only a down payment through Big Bad, so I know I've got time to save. They're not going to charge me for a while. So even though money's tight right now, as it is for all of us, it's not as crazy. All right, so we got these strands. Now let's get some. There's not as many on her left side. Let's zoom in this. I think there's a little bit of a free strand up here, and then there's the one coming off that's a little bit further back, and then there's one coming from underneath. Okay. So that means here I'm going to do a little bit of a dip. and we'll get the curve twos coming up. I'll start here. I don't like that. There. Oh. Got to get the strands back anyway. Hold on. Okay, now the other strands are selected. Now I can actually draw a curve tube. Lift that off a little bit. Add a little extra. Tap, and now I can move it around. Now, one thing I want to say to all of you guys, again, I know Twitch is new for a lot of you. And I mean, essentially it's new for me too. But there's a lot of cool creators that are on Twitch. And it would mean a lot to me if you can check some of the people out that I support and I help from time to time. If you go to my channel page, which some of you might be on, you don't have to do it right now either, but I do have kind of like suggested folks. Some of them are ones that I work with on Twitch. Some of them are just other creators that I've run into through Twitch. And yeah, if you could just check them out, see those folks, maybe give them a follow if there's anybody that looks interesting to you there. I'm not going to give any specific shout outs tonight. The only two that I will, Sleebun, she's really fun. I moderate for her with one of the other people I suggest, who is Setback Zach. He's been in here before. He's a really cool guy. He is just starting out. Well, not just starting out. He's starting to get more active with streaming. And I'm trying to help him get to the affiliate level. What he needs mostly is followers at this point, because he's getting kind of the numbers, or he can get kind of the numbers for streaming that he needs to get to the affiliate level. So yeah, if you find Setback Zach on that little suggested area that I have on my channel page, give him a follow. I'd appreciate that a lot, because he's a really cool guy. I help him moderate Sleebun's streams, and she streams every Tuesday. And then I also help Nerf Noodle. I am part of her moderating team, both on her Discord and Twitch. And yeah, she's another fun creator. She games and chats. They both do, both her and Sleebun, on Twitch. And Zach in particular is someone that, you know, I help out with the moderating thing for Sleebun, and he plays a lot of Fortnite. I don't know if y'all like watching people play video games. That's a lot of what happens on Twitch. So there's a lot more of that, and it's very saturated. So that's why I say, if you can go and give Setback Zach a follow, that would be awesome. And if you could get a stream every once in a while, or at all, ever, that'd be cool too. But the follow is a big help. definitely for him. All right, there we go. We got that strand. And I think I might duplicate that one and use it again for this section right here. And for anybody that is just kind of live viewing that's coming through, thank you so much. I appreciate you folks too. The views are nice, however I can get them if you're in the chat, watching me directly, or if you're just kind of passively viewing and hanging out. That's really cool. Glad to have you here. My name is Kevin, as you can see on the screen. I go by KGart82. I am a digital modeler and have been doing this for over 20 years at this point. The software that I use is ZBrush. That's what I'm using right now. And I have worked with many a toy company, Hasbro, Mattel, a few that no longer exist. May Diamond, Select Toys, rest in peace. That was one of my favorite companies to work with. I wasn't always happy with the production of the figures, but I really liked a lot of the intellectual properties I got to work on through them. And for the most part, a lot of my favorite figures that I've gotten to work on through them did turn out really well. So for the most part, I really enjoyed doing stuff for them. And that might also have been news for some of you guys too, that already know me. Okay. So we only got one major like strand left to do. And then it's going to be more just getting some of the detail work in some of this stuff. Nondescript householder DV. Viewers, no thanks. Yeah, that's always weird when you get bots or people coming in with weird like advertisement stuff. I don't like that. I don't need that. I don't want it. How are your supports coming, Josh? Are you almost done? Hey, what's up, Jay? How's it going, JD? It's going really well. Just cooking on Frieren. I'm actually been mostly working on the hair tonight. if probably you saw on the also thanks for the follow, appreciate that. If you saw on the Discord kind of where the hair was before I began, made quite a bit of progress tonight, so I'm pretty happy with that. How are you doing, sir? Really happy to see you in here. We've been having a good night. We've been talking about hot toys. We've been talking about 3D printing and resin. Talked a little bit about some of the work that I've done in the past and kind of my plans for stream. Eventually, I kind of want to do a Patreon where I have some of this stuff available. But you got to be careful with other folks' IPs. So I'm not going to be selling any of this stuff directly, but I might have a path of, hey, if you donate this, then you have access to some of the files that I've worked on in the past. So yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff that we've talked about. We've also talked about the weather for some people. Let's see, it's looking great. I'm doing good. I'm glad you're doing good, man. I appreciate you. Now I am a West Coaster, so luckily, we're a little chilly here, but our weather isn't great. I know a lot of the folks that I'm interacting with on Cessa's Discord are Michiganders and all you East Coast folk. So I hope you're doing all right with the weather, and it's not too crazy. I'm not quite sure where you fall in all of this, but yeah, just want to wish you warmth and continued safety, just like I have been for everybody else, because yeah, y'all are cool peeps, and I know it's getting hairy out there. Did you have a good day today? Was there anything interesting that you dealt with, Mr. J? Sounds like I'm calling you like the Joker, Mr. J. Also, would you prefer JD? Like, I don't even want to call you like something that you don't like. See, yeah, a little bit of a break this weekend after the last 2 weekends. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I did notice that the cold snap has seemed to die down a bit, at least for folks more up north, and that's why I think the folks in Florida are suffering more right now. Let's see, JD or J, either one. Cool. I'm sure I'll figure out which to settle on. And I'll probably forget as I do my thing. But yeah, thank you again for joining the stream, for the follow. Very much appreciated. Nice to have you in here. And being first time chatting too. Some of the folks in here, a lot of the folks that come attend regularly know me through the action figure work that I do, and so yeah, you're one of the cool peeps that is coming from the other end of the spectrum of my world that I've been talking about, because I've been streaming for about almost 3 months now. And so I've gotten to know lots of cool people on Twitch by, becoming more active. And I started following Cess because she's friends with Sleebun, who I help moderate for on Twitch. So all these folks are interconnected for me. So it's been very, very cool experience to meet all you guys on the Discord, and I have felt very supportive, or supported, and supportive. I like to support everybody too. Do you stream at all, or are you mostly just viewing? Because I know some people also do stream, and I've tried to catch as many of those as possible. But I don't know everybody that streams. So if you also stream, that'd be cool. I'd love to, know more about when that happens so I can try and catch that stuff. But if you don't, then just, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you being in here. And yeah. So there we go. I think definitely from the front, everything's in place. From the side, I think I have some work to do. Let's see. Word, yeah, you come into Suss's Discord a couple of months ago, right? Yeah. So I, funny enough, I came into the Discord mainly because I was helping out with Slee's birthday stream, because I had just started doing moderating stuff for her at around that point. And also at that point, that's when Sus was kind of coming in and helping out a lot too, to revamp her stream and help her out. So I mostly was getting to know Sus as like a fellow moderator for Slee, because she was coming in and helping out so much. And then that's when Sleebun was like, hey, like, Sus streams too, go check her out, go check out all her stuff. So I did, and it was, clearly a good time. A lot of cool people, so I was like, yeah, I'll jump in the Discord too. And it was, you're in there. It's a nice experience. A lot of fun, nice, crazy people, which I relate to. I relate to the crazy, I relate to the fun, and I relate to the nice. I've encountered a lot of really amazing people over the past couple of months, and I have really enjoyed it. So yeah, I've only been in Suss's Discord for a short bit, but I definitely don't feel like I'm the new guy. Everyone has been very cool. See, I have streamed before, but it's been like a year and a half. I'd like to try and get back into it at some point. You should, man. Especially if you've done it before and you kind of know what you're doing and what you'd like to do. Maybe, you want to revamp something. I don't know. What did you do when you streamed? Did you do gaming streams, or did you just chat, or was there something specific? I love to hear that kind of stuff. For me, I feel like I'm kind of like a novelty here on Twitch. See, mostly gaming, yeah. Cool. What did you play? I also like hearing that kind of stuff too. I do eventually kind of want to do some gaming streaming myself, just to kind of diversify and have some fun, but I don't know when, if I'll ever do that. I might use it as an excuse to have like time to game, because lately I just haven't had the like energy or the drive. Even though I keep seeing games, I'm like, oh, I want to play that, but then I get to the point where I'm home and I just either have too much other stuff to do, or the desire to play is just gone by the time I have a moment where I can play. But yeah, did you do mostly shooters? Did you do fighting games? Multiplayer stuff? Single player? I myself would probably do more single player stuff and might even dabble in trying to stream VR stuff, because I have the PSVR2 and I really enjoy VR gaming, but I'm not sure what additional stuff. I know I have, I have Twitch connected to the PS5, and I know you can stream directly from it, but I'm not sure how well that works with the VR, and if I would need to do a capture card or do anything crazy like that in addition. See, stream Minecraft, Forza, Destiny 2, Starfield. Cool. Cool. What is it that Forza? Oh, and they're doing the people that do Forza. They're doing the new Fable games. I'm excited about that. For sure. But that's cool. Minecraft. Yeah, my kid loves Minecraft. I stayed away from it for years because I felt like it was a rabbit hole that I didn't want to go down because I get obsessive. That's why mostly I play like single player story games, because I can eventually pull out of it. And I don't do a lot of like never end games or story games, or multiplayer games. Let's see. You freaking love Minecraft? Awesome, dude. Yeah, my kid loves it. We have our own realm that he created that is just us, so that way I can kind of learn the ropes and just play with him. We haven't been on it in a while. Lately he's been playing Fortnite. He finally got into Fortnite. And right now there's like a Fall Guys crossover. And he's been playing that a lot within Fortnite, because we used to play Fall Guys together all the time. That was a really fun game. So yeah, that is what he's been playing a lot of. And so I've like considered finally diving into Fortnite. I tried it years ago and had a really bad experience. Well, for me, I didn't like it. Where I was, first game I played, I got like sniped in seconds. So that's never fun, to just be like the first one out and around. And then the next, I was like, okay, I'll play another one. That's a fluke. I'll try to do, a little bit better, try to find better cover. And I literally like was having trouble with lag and fell off a cliff and killed myself. So I just took that as a sign to put it down. But I know a lot of people that play it now, and the kids playing it, so I might pick that up. Let's see, I would like to stream those newish Star Wars. Oh yeah, Survivor and Fallen Order. Fallen Order was great. I really loved it, especially since like I got into it after the patches, so it was quote unquote a better game at that point. But I have not played Survivor yet, and I did hear good things about that. Let's see, what's on my list? I need to play. I got the Avatar game, where I'm not the biggest fan of the movies, but the world I like, and I've seen people play the game and know some people that have it and said that it was a lot of fun. I want to play Ghost of Yotai, because Ghost of Tsushima was so good. Really loved playing that game. And yeah, so I just want to get back into that world again, especially since Erika Ishii, I think, is the actress who is the main character. Big fan of hers. I love her in all the D&D stuff that she does, and she does a lot of voiceover work. She's a great comedian, or comedian, however you want to say it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of the last actual game that I played and sat down and played. Let's see. There's a third-person one for Star Wars series that's supposed to be coming out as well. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I don't remember what it was though. I know Outlaw came out, and it looked cool, but it kind of came and went. So I'm not sure if that's one that I want to play, you know? But I did hear good things for a bit, and it looks cool. But yeah, it's one that I don't think I'll ever get into because I have too many. I still need to finish Witcher 3. Like I got deep into that, but then I stopped that for God of War and Alan Wake 2, and took a break from to do Cyberpunk, and then I tried to get back into it, but then something else came out. So like there's games I'm also in the middle of playing that I need to get back to. So it's been a thing, you know? All right, let's get this staff out of the way again. Don't need you. I kind of want to do just shaping some of the plane changes here. I'm going to be going back and forth using the clay tubes brush, which is not the curved tubes brush. So clay tubes, it does this kind of tube sculpting shape. So that's why they call it clay tubes. Where curved tubes is actually I'm drawing a curve and it has a tube that follows the curve. So that's what's happening between those two different tools that I'm using. In ZBrush, all the tools that we use are called brushes, hence why they call it ZBrush. This was originally meant to be like a 2.5D 3D painting program, and then they kind of retooled it and it became a very good 3D sculpting program and modeling program. Josh, see, with ZBrush, can you import an existing STL and modify the sculpt? I imagine not, but curious. Well, your imagination is stunted because you can. Yeah, you can import anything. You can import STLs, you can import OBJs, you can export some kinds of color files, but you can't really import color files depending on the type. Like if you have an OBJ or STL with a texture, like obviously you can do that, but there's some particular types of color print files that you cannot import, but you can export versions of those files from ZBrush, which I've had to do on occasion because I do color printing here and there through work, just not for personal. Although I did do one personal color printing project. I've showed it off before. I don't think I'm going to show it off now. But I did a version of my wife's Animal Crossing character at the time in the outfit that she liked the most. And I was able to get it color 3D printed from a really awesome color printer called the Mamaki. I forgot the name of the company. Mamaki might actually be the name of the company, but it's 3D resin color prints. So it's like, you know, Elegoo's and all that, but they do a color layer like on top of the resin. There's like a layer of color that gets printed as well. And yeah, it's really cool. Like I could probably take this and get this printed in one shot, and it would be, once treated, it would look like it was a production piece. And yeah, it's really cool. Let's see. Cool. I figured it had some ZBrush file to sculpt. Well, it does. It has those too. So what's nice is like there's obviously a proprietary file type for projects. There's actually a couple. There's a project file and there's a tool file. So there's two kind of ZBrush file types. Hey, yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate the compliment, JD, and the lurk. So, yeah, hang out. Um, I'm here every Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I have talked about maybe doing once a week or 1 week in a month where I do like a Monday or maybe a Wednesday just to free up a Saturday. But yeah, mainly I will be every Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So thanks for the lurk. Thanks for hanging out and chatting for a bit, and enjoy the rest of your evening. But back to what we were talking about, Josh. Um, yeah, so there's a ZBrush file that is this, what I'm usually saving as, that has all my different tools that are over here on the side. So if I magnify, so these are all the different parts that I'm working with separated. And, but I can import STLs and OBJs and some other various file types, and add them, you know, to my list of files on the side here. They basically, become ZBrush files once they're imported. And then, once I'm done working, then all the stuff has to be exported for 3D printing. So I'm exporting STLs and OBJs anyway. Or in, the few instances of color stuff, those particular color files. But even that, like for the Mamaki, it's just OBJs with texture files attached. So, yeah, there is like a proprietary, like main file type for ZBrush in order to, have projects that you're working on that you can keep kind of consistent, but the export is always going to be regular file types that you're used to hearing about: OBJs, STLs, vermals, which are the color files. I think I can even import like some proprietary type files, like oh wait, FBX files we can also import, and I think export as well, but that's like rare. That's like sometimes like when we're dealing with like film stuff, I've had to do that. But yeah, so if there was like a file that you got and you weren't happy with and were like, oh, it would be cool if like we can like rework this like file that I got from this particular website before actually printing it, to clean it up a little bit more and fix some stuff, that's totally doable in ZBrush. And it shouldn't, affect anything in a negative way. Okay, now I'm gonna check and see if my lazy mouse is on. Yes, it is. So one thing that I love with the Damien standard brush is combining it with what's called a lazy mouse. And it adds some drag. So you have more control with like your scribing and stuff. And I just really love it, because it also makes it easy to pick up where you left off on a scribe. And it makes for like a nice, consistent path, to where if I didn't have that kind of like drag to it, it would be hard to keep it steady. I this allows me to kind of like course correct if it feels like I'm going off the path that I want to go on. And I can go a little bit slower, where usually if you want to like do a good scribe, you want a little bit of speed and momentum in order to keep a good consistent line. So I like to use the lazy mouse because it's helpful. Okay, let's see. Right here, there's a little bit of scribe. Let's go down more from the front. There we go. Now I'm kind of working like at a low subdivision level as well. But if I step it up, it smooths some of that stuff out. So I do want to dig in deeper with some of this stuff just to give it some more depth, especially like where the hair is going to be gathering right here. It's nice to make things stand out a bit more. And I can even go back in now that I have that higher subdivision level going here with this other scribe that I did and just like make this a little bit deeper as well. And I can smooth out the end so it softens, so it falls off a little bit better. But yeah, no, this has been really fun. Tonight's been a lot of fun. One, it's been fun with all of you guys. I definitely appreciate it. It's nice hanging out with y'all. And two, it's been fun to finally get to this hair sculpting, which I've been like super excited about. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy modeling all the other stuff, but I've been itching to like refine this hair and get some of the action in. So I've been looking forward to tonight. So thank you for hanging out with me and hopefully enjoying the process as I've messed with the hair. Like there's still stuff that I'm going to do after the fact. Like I said, I'm going to merge some of this stuff. I'm going to duplicate parts of the hair and merge some of it so it's all like one mesh, so some of this stuff blends better. And I can do some fun sculpting off of these transition points. But yeah, good times. Okay, just some history. I started using ZBrush at around 2006, I think, is when I first started dabbling with the software. And I was at a very small sculpting studio at the time. I had done some design work for them, which wasn't my intention, but it was like the job they took me in for, so I was like, sure, I'll take it. And then they finally let me do some traditional sculpting because that's what my background is in. So I know how to sculpt by hand, and that is part of why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because I took some traditional sculpting classes in college, and I did some 3D modeling in college as well. So I had both backgrounds, and the studio that I started at, they were still mostly doing traditional hand sculpted items. when I started working there, and they had just started doing ZBrush. And so I was able to jump in and start on the ground floor learning how to use the software. And my stuff to start was okay, not great. It definitely wasn't this level. I want to just let you know, ads are going to start in about 5 minutes. So if you are not a subscriber, please stick around. If you are, hang out, and we'll keep working and talking and stuff. Let's see, do you still do traditional sculpting for yourself to keep those skills sharp, or have no? Well, what's good is since I'm still sculpting, I would say the skills are sharp. They're not going away. The only thing that might be kind of I wouldn't say a struggle, but would take a little bit getting used to again. It would just depend on the material. But my sculpting skills are sharp because technically that's what I'm doing. The medium is different. It's not much different sculpting in the computer than it is traditionally. The skills translate very well. It's just also I can do some stuff with modeling, especially with the low poly models to start, that it's nicer to do that in the computer. But as far as the sculpting skills, those have not gone anywhere, and I'm glad for it, because if for some reason computers went by the wayside and we needed to do that again, I know I could have that skill still, and I can get do stuff either still in toys, or maybe I could do stuff in visual effects or something. There'd be plenty of places where my traditional skills could be applied again. To answer the other part of your question, do I do it anymore? No, I do not. I don't really have the time or materials to do that. I have done like some side stuff here and there, but it was years ago. Projects for friends that kind of didn't go anywhere, and not in a bad way. It's just I started and I just didn't have the time to commit and finish stuff, which kind of sucked. I felt bad for them. And now I know it's probably still have the piece somewhere around here, but I was doing an Afro Samurai, and I had most of the clay roughed in, and I was going to do molds and stuff at the studio that I was working at the time. But yeah. Oh, ads starting in 2 minutes now. So I wasn't able to finish that, partly because I'm not at that place anymore, or wasn't at that place, because it's been a long time now. I've been at Gentle Giant for about over 11 years now. And I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I'm glad I'm still there. I'm lucky that I'm still there, because there's a lot of people that aren't. But it has afforded me a lot of opportunity. I've met a lot of really cool people and gotten to do a lot of cool things. So, yeah. Good times. So after this ad break, we'll probably keep going for a little bit longer. I'm probably going to finish off the ponytail, at least from the front. As you can see, the back, it's not as pretty, but it's not awful. I kind of need to figure out how I want to handle some of the stuff from the back, as far as where I want some of these action lines, like the flow of the hair, to go. But tonight we will finish off the front, and I'll take some images and post them online. but I'll at least finish off this left mane ponytail with some of the more prominent details. And then we'll call it a stream. All right, and ads should be starting real soon. So again, if you are not a subscriber, please stick around, hang out through the ads. It helps me out. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Do you know if there has been any commitments in the industry to not use generated AI models, SEOs? Because there are things now that can generate a model from an image. I'm not using them. Commitments, that's a tough one. I haven't really heard much about any particular studios in the industry that have said, hey, we are not using AI in any form. However, yes, you are correct. Models can be generated. I think there are some industries where that is worrisome because the models are decent. I currently am not worried where I am at. Because the better use for AI as a tool is not what I'm doing. And I know at least my work doesn't have any plans to use AI to do my job. Partly because a lot of the things that we do, AI just can't. Now, I will say that AI is being used. I'm not gonna divulge any specifics, and sometimes it is not. Well, I would say it's most of the AI that I have seen has been client based, like they've generated stuff and given us things, and I would say for the most part, it's no different than any other time a client gives an asset for us to kind of start with. Sometimes it's more helpful than others. And the AI stuff that I've gotten has not been good, but it's been enough to where I didn't really have to start from scratch completely. So it was helpful to get things going, but none of the original is used for the stuff that I have produced. So it's kind of like if someone gave a base model to start with and we had to go from there. So yeah, I would almost be worried about companies skipping Gentle Giant or sculpting altogether. There are going to be companies that do that, and I will tell you this: it's going to suck, and they'll find out how much it sucks when the market doesn't do well, and their product doesn't do well, because people can tell it doesn't look good. But I don't mind. Hey, welcome back, folks that were watching ads and stuff. Appreciate you. I don't, well, I mean, right now, I'm not worried about people skipping us because of AI. I'm worried about people skipping us because, just in general, things are expensive and people don't want to spend money. So, but that's tale as old as time, We get into certain times when the economy is not great and people don't want to spend their money, and therefore, they're not coming to us. But what I will say is sometimes people don't come to us and then they go somewhere else because they think they found a cheaper way of doing it. And then they find out that way wasn't great. And then they end up coming to us anyway. And then we, at that point, are either more expensive or the same price, but then they've also spent money on other stuff. So, you know, it is tough right now in all entertainment industries for various reasons. But I will say that right now we are doing okay, which is good and makes me happy. It's still hard out there, and you know, that's why I'm still like thinking of other things that I can do outside of the studio, because we gotta consider those things these days as responsible people trying to make a living and get by. We can't put all our eggs in one basket. But I am very thankful for my job, thankful that I can support my family doing work like this, and happy that I can do this kind of stuff as like a hobby for now. You know, if I can make this my full time, where I was just like streaming and doing stuff like this, that'd be so much fun. And I would love it. But that's like, that's 1 in a million shot, you know? I'm not silly in that fact that I think that I'm doing this with the intention of it being a way to support my family. I would love it. Mostly, I would love this to be just self-sustaining at least, where I can, you know, like earn enough through streaming to kind of improve the stream and maybe make a little cash on the side to make it worthwhile. In addition to, you know, the idea of me creating an artist community, the kind that I would have liked to have when I was younger online. But yeah, I don't know if that I went off kind of on a tangent. Maybe. Let's see. I wonder how it will affect what I do, the customizing community, and the sculptures within that community. I mean, I still think that there's always going to be a need for craftsmen, people that put love into stuff. Are there people that are going to like pump out AI slop? And is some of that AI slop going to be maybe on the surface better than some sculptors? Sure. But here's a reminder of why AI still hasn't taken over. It doesn't really listen. It doesn't take feedback. You know? Like you can like produce something real quick style, and maybe some of it gets nailed, but it's always a long shot. And if you have parts of it that don't really work and you need to rework stuff, AI doesn't really do that yet. And that's more nuanced and that's harder to program. So I don't know when, if that's going to happen at all, you know? And again, in the you are in the maker community, so you're probably going to find people that might be like, hey, print my AI thing. And I think if anybody's going to like have some success out of this. It might be you, because you might get more people that are just looking for people to print if you want to farm out your machines. Uh, it's just going to be a matter of like, do you want to take their money or not? You know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se, but we still want to support the artists, me, um, so we can keep making stuff for people with skill and life behind it. And in the makerspace, people want to make stuff for the most part. So I don't think you're gonna get like a huge amount of people that are like gonna switch over to AI, because part of the customizing, part of the creation is the making. That's what excites people, the journey. And with AI, there's no journey to it. It's just typing in prompts and like, here you go. It might be good for like some stuff here and there, like tedious things. I'm not against it completely. Like it's a good tool. It can be used as a tool effectively, but yeah, I don't think it's going to eliminate the makers, because the makers want to make stuff. The customizers want to customize. Um, and there's just going to be some things that folks like us can do better than an AI, far better. So we're going to be more expensive, we're going to take longer, but a lot of times people are going to find it worth it. Okay, I think I'll stay on for another like 10 minutes or so. I'm very happy with the hair. I still need to hit it from the back. I think the sides are mostly fine. Obviously, there's some stuff that I can tweak, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks from the profile. The back, I need to add some more interest, but I'm not going to do that right now because I want to kind of like sit with it. So what I will do for the next 10-ish minutes is look at this sleeve over here and mess with this. See what we can do before time's up. I've kind of worked on this other sleeve. It's not quite there yet, but it's close. It's getting there. So let's inch closer with this sleeve. Okay, this cuff is definitely elongating more this. Let's see, I gotta rotate it. Find the center. Thins out a bit. Gets a little longer. You're not that long. There we go. Let's just like shift this stuff around, just like I did with the other cuff. If you were here last stream, if you weren't here last stream, I just kind of positioned the cuff and then I brought the sleeve to it. Sorry if I'm getting quiet. I'm kind of locking in here just a little bit. But yeah, as we wind down, as I get to this, you know, finishing or stopping point, I guess is what I should say. Thank you again, everyone that popped through tonight, that stuck through the whole stream, that just stayed in for a little bit, folks that are lurking. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to have people to chat with. I really am enjoying streaming and getting to do projects that I want to do, that I don't have to worry about, you know, someone else's opinion. Because part of my job is to not have much of an opinion. I obviously have to bring my skill to the table, but in the end of the day, it's all about pleasing a client, and sometimes what the client wants isn't necessarily what I would personally want for anything that I'm working on. So that's why stuff like this for me is kind of nice and freeing, because I get to decide kind of the path that I'm going to go down with the art and with the character, and make it to kind of like suit me. And that's nice. And I also get to pick the jobs. It's not someone coming to make whatever character it is that they want, or is going to make them money, because, you know, this is clearly because I love this character, why I'm doing Frieren. But for the most part, clients are banking that whatever thing that they are working on or having had work done on is going to be lucrative for them in some way. So there's always that kind of angle to it. So this is nice, like, even though Frieren is like obviously a very popular thing, character, anime, series, what have you, for me, I'm doing it for the love of the game. And also to share knowledge and hopefully inspire people to do their own stuff, because that's what I want. More people to do their own fun, cool shit, you know? And with that, yeah, we'll do one more save for tonight, just to make sure that I don't lose at least some of this work. Hey, what's up, sus? It's about your bedtime, but I want to say hi. Well, thank you so much. I'm pumpkining right now myself too. I just saved, and I'm about to end stream for tonight, but I'm really very happy to see you in here. It means a lot. I know it's late for you. JD was here earlier. I don't know if you can see his chat earlier up, but it was cool to see him. So thank you. What do you think? You know, I worked on the hair tonight. That's been my focus for this evening. So give me your judgment as a fellow Frieren fan. See, hell yeah, I've been lurking, but couldn't say hi until now. Well, thank you so much for hanging out in the background. I appreciate it. Thank you. You are one who I'm always happy to see it, because I know you're just as big of a fan of the character. So thank you so much for saying hi. I appreciate you popping out of the shadows before you go off to Dreamland, which I'm gonna do that pretty soon myself. Um, so yeah, everybody who's been here, thank you so much. I appreciate it. The lurks, the subs, the follows, whatever you do, it all just means a lot that you're here at all and hanging out while I get to do some fun stuff. And yeah, you have a great night as well. Stay warm. I wanted to call you Susperella for some reason, and I don't know why, but it's kind of fun. So yeah, stay warm, stay safe, cuddle with the cats, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. It's always fun to share the process as well. So yeah, I could keep bugging you all night, but I'm not. So thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Sus, JD6, Josh, everybody that popped in tonight to hang out. Have a good night. We'll be back here next Saturday. I should be further along and hopefully start working on the base, which is going to be fun because it's going to finally start coming together as a statue. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Stay warm wherever you are. Shelter from the stupid storms. Shelter from the stupid crap in the world that's going on. And yeah, follow my socials. I'm still on Instagram, KGart82. I put my VODs up on YouTube, also KGart82, and obviously I'm here on Twitch. So peace out, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.